I grew up in a Christian household and culture, but I never really understood what it meant to have a relationship with God. During the pandemic, we lost connection with New Community and with God. I was just isolated during lockdown and my relationship with God was fading away. We tried different churches, but we didn't feel we fit in and I lost hope. Then one Sunday, my mum told me to get up and get dressed, we're going to church. I said, "What church?" I said, "Not this again," as I thought it would be another failed trial. Then she replied, "A voice told me that we need to go back to New Community." I entered a church with no hope, thinking we'll probably drop it soon. But that Sunday changed my life. Then came New Day, which was the highlight of my year. It was my first time at the camp, and that's when I decided to give my life to God, where I felt so much joy. Now I know God has planned my life from the very beginning and gave me a purpose. I will live out my life serving God. Amen.
My beginning was raised in a troubled home. I didn't get to be a child for very long. When I was 18, I made the choice to run away from home, in search of a joyful life with a boy that I felt understood how I felt due to his own troubled background. This of course led to an even more troubled and toxic marriage, which came to its end 14 years later, leaving me a broken, depressed mess and a single mother of two. In my depressive state, a year later, I walked into another 4-year-long toxic and abusive relationship. Feeling a complete failure as a wife, mother and human, I was at a suicidal low. One night in the dark, I sobbed and begged to a God that I wasn't even sure existed. And no more than a week later, what had seemed like an impossible escape opened up for me. I received 2 calls days apart, one for a new job and another for a new home. 2 months later, I was in Sidcup, an unknown place to me with my new beginning. One day I was invited to an Alpha meeting and I shocked myself by attending, mainly because I decided a while ago that religions were designed to control the masses. It was one night watching a scene from The Chosen that time stopped and everything changed. During a 20-second scene with Jesus, I felt a calm love and peace envelop me that seemed to swallow time. I instantly knew I was in the presence of God. My entire life started to play in front of me, but what I could see now was that I had been blinded to the fact that God had been right beside me the entire time. And in a joy I'd never felt before, I surrendered to God completely. I no longer felt lost and empty, and I now truly feel the sense of purpose I'd been searching for in people and myself that was only to be found with God through Christ. I hand over all control to God, with love for my new understanding that it was never mine to begin with.